Weeks of Beauty. I'm Christy, and today's video is going to be about my pink sugar coconut watermelon scrub. And I love making sugar scrubs at home. I actually go through one of these every week, and it can be pretty pricey if I were to buy these at the store. It's like $15 to $30 depending on where you get it. So I want to go ahead and show you guys how I do it, and I think the hardest part for me was figuring out how to make it pink. And there are a few different ways out there. I tried the pink sugar crystals that actually come in the baking aisle, and I was like, well, that's easy. I'll just mix coconut oil and pink sugar, and then I have a pink sugar scrub. But it actually kind of tinted my hands a little bit pink, and I, after a few days, I'm sure I just would be pink. Yeah, and I'm just really not up for that. So I figured out that I probably would just be better off with an all-natural coloring agent of some sort. So I got India Tree. It's Nature's Colors Decorating Set, and it has red, yellow, and blue in here. So they basically look like that. I got this at Whole Foods, and really it's just made from beet juice for the red color. And I like that because if you just use a few drops and it's red, and red and white make pink. So I like to use white sugar. You can use the coarser sugar, like the raw sugar that you can get, but it has, it has a little beigey cream tint to it. And when I did use the red dye, it turned it more of a maroon color, kind of like a deep purple, and I was more into, I wanted a pink. So that's why the white sugar and the pink and the red dye makes like a really pretty pink. So that's what I used. You can also use, I would say, like maybe a little bit of popsicle juice, because it already has some preservatives in it, so I feel like that would be okay. If you used maybe frozen raspberries or anything that's all natural, it does call for you to, as soon as it's thawed, to put it right back in the refrigerator or the freezer. So I would be a little bit worried about that. So I think if you're going to use something, and I just say popsicle because it's easy, maybe you have it at home and you're only going to use a tiny bit just for color. But the other thing you could use would be strawberry oil. It's, you know how you use vanilla for baking? They actually have a strawberry one, and that has a pink color to it. You can use the pink Dawn soap, pink shampoo, pink, there's so many different things, but I wanted it to be something, maybe just be like really bright pink. And when I tried some of the soaps or the shampoos, I wasn't able to find something like super bright pink. So that's why I did it this way. So I'll kind of, show you in a little bit how I mix the dye with the sugar. And it doesn't dye my hands or anything like that. It's a small amount. With the, pink sugar that was hot pink already, it's just you're using so much of it. So that hot pink, I think that's why I felt like a little bit of pink on my hands. But otherwise, like I said, most of this is just oil and sugar, and you're not using any of the dye, hardly at all. Okay, so I'd say the other thing that I want to talk about was the container that I got. I like to use a plastic container because it's in the shower, and I just don't feel really good about putting a glass container in the shower. So that's just my personal preference, and I wanted it to be airtight as well because you don't want water to get in there, which is another thing we'll get to in a minute when we talk about preservatives. But this kind of has a squeeze top, so you squeeze it and put it in there, and you squeeze it to get it out. And then I got this little scooper that I think is adorable. From both of these are from Container Store, and this actually fits really cute in the top. So if it was clean and everything, you could leave it out as well. So as far as the preservatives go, sugar and oil and salt and oil don't necessarily need a preservative if water is never going to touch it. Somehow in the chemistry world that I'm not the best at, there's this thing called osmosis, and something happens with the sugar and the salt and the oil, and it's fine. The bacteria, it's larger than the bacteria. I don't know what happens. If you guys are way smarter than me, please explain it below for other people. I don't really know the whole thing behind it, but I know that once water gets into it, that's a different story. And how is water not going to get into this? I tried too. I'm in the shower okay, don't let water get in, just get a scoop and put it in your hand really quick. And it just doesn't work that way. The only way it would work is if you, put some in a Dixie cup maybe kept this on your counter, put this in the Dixie cup and brought this in the shower with you. You probably could preserve it a lot longer. As it is right now, it would go for about a week in your shower. It'd go for about 2 weeks in your refrigerator. So I think if you're going to give this as a gift, or you're probably not going to use it that often, then I would say you would want a preservative. So I looked up a few preservatives. You're going to want a broad spectrum preservative that is oil soluble. So there are a lot that are water soluble, and that won't necessarily work since the majority of this product is oil. So I'll go ahead and put them here. So those would be great, and basically you just have to kind of do some calculations with the amount of the preservative that you are putting in based on your oil and your sugar, or your oil and your salt. And I'm sure they have that online where you can kind of calculate it all. When you get the little bitty bottle in the mail, they might even have something for you too. But I don't necessarily use a preservative because I'm not gifting these. If I do decide to do that, which I might, then I will. And I'll let you know exactly the percentages and breakdown and all that if at that point I decide to do something like that. But for now, this is for me, and I like it, and I go through one every week. Like I said, I use it on my face and my body, and I have really dry skin. When I go get facials and things like that, they're always like, your skin is really dehydrated. Do you drink enough water? I'm like, yes, no, kind of, sometimes, I don't know. No, yes, you know, it's just like depending on when I go, and I probably don't drink enough water. It's bad. I should, because I really think it's one of the best things out there for you. But I notice my skin just feels a lot healthier when I'm using this, and I think it's because the coconut oil is moisturizing my skin. It's also exfoliating first before it moisturizes, which is great. And I always have to put lotion on right out of the shower. I feel like I'm just like dry, and I hate that feeling. But this, I don't feel that way. I get out of the shower, I'm like, oh my gosh, my skin feels like so moisturized. I could just skip the lotion part, but I don't, because I just, you know, I love lotion, and I love making my skin feel like it's, especially in the winter, like hydrated and all of that. But like I said, I'm feeling like a lot better about my skin and the way I feel, and just exfoliating on a daily basis. And if you're not comfortable with doing that every day, I would just say work up to it if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. You can do it once a week. That's totally fine. That's wonderful. Has wonderful benefits as well. As far as the oils in this, I used coconut oil, and I also used olive oil, but I don't like the olive oil scent. That's just my personal preference. Like, I think it's too overpowering. Even a tiny bit extra virgin olive oil, it just has a really strong fragrance. And if you don't like that necessarily, and you put that in with anything else, you're gonna smell it. It's just gonna overwhelm the product. So I love olive oil though, but there's a place called Bath Junkie, and I'll put the link below. And they can put any scent in your olive oil. So I had them put coconut in mine. So this is a very strong coconut scent. And you know, the coconut oil, I use this one from Whole Foods. And this one has a nice coconut scent too, but this is like really coconut. So I kind of like this. And this is olive oil, this is coconut oil. They have different benefits, and they're really great for you. So I use both of those. And then I also love almond oil. So I added some almond oil in there too. And I wanted to add a watermelon fragrance. For my watermelon fragrance, there's two options. You can get a watermelon flavor and a watermelon essence oil. I like both of them actually. The essence oil, it's very faint. It's more like a melon smell. And this is like a tangy, sweet watermelon smell. And I love this. This is like a Jolly Rancher, and this is kind of just like, yeah, like a melon. But this actually brings out this scent a little bit more. So I don't really know how, but this by itself, I didn't notice as much of a scent. This with it helps. So I'll put all these links below, but again, you can use any fragrance. You don't even have to use a fragrance. Just the coconut oil by itself smells absolutely amazing. But I wanted it to be something like, you know, pink coconut watermelon. I just thought that kind of sounded fun and summery, so that's what I came up with. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers everything. Let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so welcome to my suite. I call it my suite because I have a futon, computer, closet, television in here. It's kind of like my own little world. Anyway, I'm using regular white sugar, not the raw sugar, not the coarse sugar that has that little khaki color to it, you know, because that could change the color of the food dye that I'm working with. So just plain white sugar. And then I'm going to use Now Foods almond oil, and I smell it here in a minute just to make sure it doesn't have a scent, and it doesn't, which I like that. So, and after that, I'm using 5 pumps of the Bath Junkie. That is the olive oil that's scented like coconut. And then just raw coconut oil, 1/3 cup of that as well. And then I put in about 5 drops of the watermelon flavor oil. And then I put in about 5 drops of the premium aroma oil and watermelon. It's like a watermelon essence oil. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add 2 drops of the red food coloring that I had mentioned before. And I'm just going to keep stirring it up. And at first it does seem like a little purple, but the more it gets diluted with the sugar and everything else that's going on, it just keeps changing into more and more of a pink color. There are going to be like little color bursts, or whatever you want to say, little dots that kind of you'll see in there. And I would just keep hitting those with your spoon and trying to break those up. And the more you break them up, the brighter color you're going to get to. You don't want to leave any of those color specks in there at all. So you're just going to go ahead and just keep mixing and mixing and mixing. And I do add a few more drops. So when you feel like you're ready and all the little specks are gone and it's not like the perfect bright pink, then I'll just add some more in there. Usually like 1 drop or 2, because it really is a potent food coloring agent. I don't know that other food colorings would be as potent as this one, but 1 drop like goes a really long way. So just keep mixing and mixing and mixing, and then I add a little bit more. So then I decided I wanted to make it just a splash brighter, so I'm adding writing gel in pink. It's a really bright pink. It's by Cake Mate, and just a little bit, but just that tiny bit actually really does help brighten it a bit. And I find that it takes just that little bit of, you know, purpley color, you know, just from the red dye to make it just that little bit of extra pink that I'm searching for. So I'm just going to scoop it all into my container. And if you get it all in there, like 2 cups I felt like was a lot, but I probably could have done maybe 2.5. But anyway, so I'm just going to pour some white sugar in at the top and mix it, and that's fine. But I just wanted to fill it up just a little bit more because I want to leave enough room for my scooper in there, so I don't want it all the way full. But, oh yeah, it smells good. You have to smell it as you go because it's like the most amazing smell ever. Okay, so anyway, then I'm just going to add some sugar into the container. So I'm just going to mix it up and get it all blended really nicely. And then I'm going to put my scoop back in there and put the lid on. And that will be that. You can add more oil at this point if you like, but this is plenty oily enough for me in the shower, and I like it at this consistency, but pick your favorite consistency. Okay, so that was my pink sugar watermelon coconut scrub, and I love this product, and I think it's just, like I said, it's moisturizing, it's great for the winter, it smells wonderful for the summer, it's good in the winter, it makes you think of summer, you know, all of those fun things. But like, you could do any color that you wanted, you could do any scent that you wanted, you could do any essence oil out there, there's so many different ones. So this is just what I like, and I hope you guys give it a try. And if you do, if you leave it in a comment below, let me know what you tried, or a video response real quick. I don't even know if you can do pictures, but I'd love if you guys could send me a picture. Maybe Instagram me a picture if you do one. That would be great. And if you think of any other fun containers, or you know, even if you do a jar with like a ribbon or a bow, I mean, I would love to see photos. I would love to see what you guys come up with and what scents and what colors you used and how you made it happen. And anyway, I hope you guys are having a great week. I'll see you again next week for my March favorites. Bye. P.S. Oh my gosh, there's a label on the bottom. This entire time has been my video. I hate labels. The sticky stuff, it takes forever to get off. It ruins my nails. I'm gonna have to go do my stupid hair dryer trick. Okay, it's not stupid, it works. But I get mad that I have to. Why do companies do that? Why? Why can't you just make it come right off? I didn't even notice this was on here. Now it's in my video. I don't want to redo my video. What am I supposed to do? Mad. This gross sticker is in my video. I'm not redoing it. Just want you to know that I'm really upset.